So we'll do.
So you split the deck up between the number of players?
Yes. Split the deck up between the number of players, but let's also put
down.
Don't
we need to pick our entrance?
Yeah, that's what I'm going to give you right now. Pick where you want north to be. Okay. So south goes here, and then east would go here, and then west would go there. So they should all be pointing outward. Then we're going to take center of the library and put that in the center and start building out towards the center. Build to the center first and then build off of that. These cards are special cards that have been walled off. We'll put these at the very end.
Okay.
Right? And you don't have to do them in any particular order.
Do I have to go directly there, or can I do that?
Just as long as you end here.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go crazy, but you need to end it on that point.
Okay.
Make sure that and that's another thing. You can start there and move it the other way. Other things that you need to know is that the cards should have passageways as you're building them. And the more complicated you build the passageways, the more interesting the game is going to be. Cards like this that have just one entrance, know that you're basically
Creating like a cul-de-sac.
creating like a cul-de-sac. So be smart about that, because if you put too many of those, you're going nowhere.
Now, what are the rules here exactly if you have one like this? Like, does this mean this could also go into this other one?
Yes. No. Well, it basically means you can do it in the center, or you can connect it by book. So you have 3 places where you can connect. The good thing about this is that you can actually move, not on this card because it has 2 closers, but on a card like that, you can put it halfway through and have openings. So you can,
so like
you
this,
can't,
so like if I did that and then I did this.
Yes, someone could pass through there.
Could someone go through there? Okay.
Yes. So think of it as like a body can go through there. And make sure you don't waste your totally open cards, because those can really be useful. So the ones that have no bookshelves. Closing anything off.
When you say useful, what does that mean? Like, what's us?
You're going to have more opportunities to move on a card like that. So that might be a card that you want to put right at the entrance or right at the center. The other thing is you could jump into another person's. If you see that they're trying to make something, you could jump into their stack and start, if they're not fast enough, start changing the direction. Because you got to think, they're probably trying to make their stack beneficial for themselves and not for you. So you might want to jump in there and start gumming up the works for them before it's too late.
And you can only exit from yours, right?
Yeah, so
the other entrances don't even matter if there's only 2 people. So like if I totally close this off, like there's really no downside to that.
No, but that is something to think about in the rules. I think there should be a card that allows you to enter any entrance, exit any entrance, and maybe.
Oh, so if I knew that I could go over there or whatever, I wouldn't want to block those. But if I just wanted to use, not worry about that.
I think that should be help desk definitely something to think about. And here's a perfect example of a great move, because now I can't really, yeah, I can't really get in there.
See, I was put that in.
That's why I did that.
I mean, then there's also, repairs and warps and
That you can move those
too.
around. Well, you can't move the entrances though.
Yeah.
So even though you have repairs, entrances stay exactly where they are. Now, you get one of these and I get one of these. We can put them wherever. They can connect anywhere. They don't need an open-ended section. So they can also, if you want to put them in the center, you can replace a card.
So they could be right there.
Yes, if you have it open.
Because it's already closed.
Yes. So this can go here.
Now, what happens in this scenario? Like, there's a gap there. Like, or technically those like that, and you can go through them, or
no, you'd have to go all the way around it to get to there, or you'd have to get to a repair, or we could just put a card in the middle of
it doesn't really fit there.
Yeah, but this fits there. And this could fit here.
Okay.
And then that could go in the corner. All right. So a couple of things of note. Let's try and resolve this interest thing. With should they be open to anybody? Should they be open to yourselves, or should there be a card?
I think that my personal opinion is that entrance is an entrance. So just because I came in one way, like if I were to come in this house, that door,
you could go
a window,
back door.
that's
yes. Okay. So let's do that. Entrances are open. Whoever can get out can get out.
But these monsters can still block.
Oh yeah.
One of them.
Yeah, they can block whatever entrance they want to block. You just have to
how do we account for that now though? Because with the 4, when you did something, it would be trying to close your instance.
Well, it'd still be closing whatever is closest to you.
Okay.
So it's mad at you.
So if I'm here, it would start coming towards this door. Okay.
Yes. So just in general, you've called that curse upon you. So it's just going to close that. Okay. If you're here, then you close it, even though it's going to close this. So you're just setting its initial direction, and it's not going to veer. It's not going to go anywhere else. It's just trying to close that. Let's give out our abilities. So count and make sure they're 20. Clap there for.
Oh yes, since we did the entrance decision.
Yeah. Okay, and just make sure you have 20. You can lay these. These are help desks. These are from the library, giving you special abilities. You can lay them out if you want, or you can keep them stacked so people can't see them. Which ones you're using. So you should have 20.
And I think this would be a definitely good, like with Christian, his idea for the health card. Like it could have a list of all of them just to make sure that these 20 are the right 20.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Someone didn't like just throw them in the box and right. You got 20, but you have, since we have 20 specific.
Well, I do have them listed in the instructions.
Okay.
And I do have front and back in the instructions.
Oh, okay.
So that you can see them.
Okay.
Okay, and you know what's so funny? There was an extra in mine, so it already happened. So I would recommend that before starting the game, if you're going to play this for the first time, definitely read what each one does and get yourself familiar with them. And you might want to turn them backwards and just have the
yeah, because there are times where you don't want people to know which one you still have left.
Right. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
You want to put the onus on their memory.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't benefit you if they can easily see what you have, because then they're building their strategy against you. Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I usually keep my options now, just as we're learning the game.
Right, but it just.
And once you play it enough, you memorize them, then that's not as important.
Right. And it's hard to keep 20 in your head.
Yeah.
But understand that someone is building their strategy off of what you have.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, and I screwed up last time because I don't know how I did it, but I didn't put the freaking headmaster I needed in the right spot. Like it ended up being 3 moves away instead of the 1. I don't know what I did.
Oh, you didn't place it.
Yeah, when I had that mort, and I could move it around, I was going to have it be my next turn, and I was like, wait, why did I not put that? So
it's just you forget.
Yeah.
Next thing you want to do is select one of your house energies. I would make sure that this benefits you. Hopefully I've made that change on one of these. Which one was it? It was a spade card. This should be Ring of Salt. Ring of Salt.
Yeah. There it is.
Okay, and let me get a pen to make a change here. If you are a spade, you can choose.
This is where a companion app could come in. You've got things, and then when you use one, you can do it in the app. Like I used to for Magic, you could do like where you would do the rolls and stuff like that on the app. It would keep track of like who's got what and who's got what, how many points. And stuff.
Well, there's a lot we can do digitally that.
Again,
as soon as
enhancements.
Enhancements. I would love it if all of these were AR enabled, where you held up the librarian and it basically just read it off to you of what it did, and maybe in a creepy voice or a voice that seemed
had something
or magic,
or some wizard comes out. It's like
and just schools you a little bit. That'd be actually really freaking cool.
Yeah. Or maybe that's the librarian.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a ghost librarian and that's your help.
Oh, that person. Well, it is a library, so having a librarian be your narrator and your mentor of the game would be absolutely cool. Yeah, definitely. If you're on a spade, you can choose a new trivia question from a spade. Just new trivia question.
I don't want to be that hard. Because that's one that lets you teleport to another heart, right?
So, read off which one.
If you're on a heart, you can teleport to a heart.
That's a good one. This one is, if you are on a spade, you can choose a new trivia question to answer from.
Yeah, that was awesome too. Yeah. Especially because these trivia questions are hard.
Yeah. This one is the club. If you are on a club, you can phase through a bookshelf to an adjacent club, which is basically teleporting you to another card.
Now, are either one of these? Well, I guess they're not a club because they're Joker.
Right. Well, once you see a club, if you have to be on the club card, if you see an adjacent, like a bookshelf, which we wouldn't be able to get through, even these. So if this one was a club, I could actually phase through this. I don't have to use my sprint card. I don't have to use my phase card. I can just go through it automatically because I have a club. If you're on a diamond, you cannot be hurt by a diamond, which is also an absolutely powerful card.
What does that mean?
That means if we were going and battling a diamond.
5 diamond spell cards, that those diamond ones wouldn't count against me?
Yes.
That only the club or the
yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the diamond would be neutralized. And let's just do that as a diamond roll.
So I got to think about that one, like.
So that would be.
Oh, or you mean if this was a diamond headmaster?
Yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't even have to roll. I could just take it.
Well, he wouldn't roll.
Yeah, he wouldn't roll.
So you'd still have your roll.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it would just be me against the card number.
Yes. The value.
Mm-hmm.
So which you're basically gonna win.
Yeah.
Well, not if you have.
I guess very early you wouldn't.
Well, if you have a 2 and a roll of a 3, it's not helping you.
Yeah.
But it could come in really handy if you have a high card that you're going up against, like a queen, king, or a jack.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. So I'm gonna choose one. I never choose the club, so I'm gonna choose the club. Put these to the side, and I'm gonna take the club for me. Which one did you have?
I have a heart.
And give you a heart for you. Okay. Let's put down the trivia questions. I guess this is a good open spot.
What time is it?
4:30. And we'll put down the rooms. So the trivia questions, the only thing that changes on these
is you've got
2 to 4 or
4 options.
Yeah. So the 4 options actually are relatively hard. 2, it's 50-50 shot that you're going to get it right. These questions go to the cards. These questions go if we're dueling against each other and if we are trying to actually exit the library.
Oh man, you know what? We can totally do a Twitch channel for this. Just have a weekend. Every other weekend we play or whatever. Whenever we do, we stream it. Is that helpful to people?
I would like to start that this weekend coming up, because this, like I said, this last card, once I fix the cricket misalignment, it's done. Now, these are the big bads, and we'll talk about them when we get to them. This is the Duat, also known as the Duat Manifestation. This is the protector of the library. So whenever we get close to actually winning on all sorts of reasons, and we'll talk about that as the cards are revealed, the Duat's going to come in and try and slow us down or even kill us. Besides the Duat, there are 4 guardians, and I'm going to give you 2. There are 4 guardians, and we're actually going to take them out. The Duat lives in its space alone.
Oh.
The guardians are going to live in limbo.
Oh.
So they're just kind of hanging out in limbo until they're called upon. And the guardians, what their job is that if you get too close to winning in their situation, they will race to the entrances and actually block them from you ever leaving. And if they block 4 entrances, we both lose. So we want to make sure that we don't upset them, and we want to make sure that we stop them as they go. Okay. ways that the Duat.
Yeah, that's kind of an equalizer too. If you have all this, and then now it's like, oh, if I had to block that off.
Yes.
Because now that's still what, 6 cards.
Yes. Now.
But he's blocked more. But
well, the
Duat.
Well, the Duat, which isn't shown on this piece, has wings. Mm-hmm. So the Duat doesn't stop in limbo, and the Duat doesn't stop by being blocked. Mm-hmm. So the Duat is every movement. The Guardians still get blocked if they fall into limbo. So even getting out of limbo, they have to roll a 30. They get 3 rolls of the dice to get out of limbo. So even if they get called, they still have to roll into the board. Okay. So it's a lot easier to avoid them. If they roll into the board, they still have to go through the bookshelves. They got to roll a 30, take 3 dice, and they got to roll 30 to get past them. Or they got to go all the way around. So they move a lot slower than the Duat. The Duat really does move quickly.
But like if we had a player right here, they'd be screwed because
they'd have to roll a 30 out of limbo and a 30 through the board. They'd have to roll a 30 here. They'd have to roll a 30 there. So they'd actually start their movement and still have to do a lot to get here. Okay. So even though they're close, the way this has been set up now, if this was set up where this was a blank, then we're more in trouble. So it does matter how you set these cards up. And I didn't think about that here. Definitely didn't think about this. Is actually the easiest card to get into. Yeah, this is easy to get in. So the south entrance is not protected at all. How the Guardians come into play. Whenever we land at a card that we are not ready to fight, we're going to lose because we can't even fight that card. So with that, we're going to get an evil eye. So as soon as we get 3 evil eyes, we are going to carry basically a target that lets us know the Guardians are chasing us. Okay? So as soon as we get 3 evil eyes, that gets replaced with the 3 evil eye skulls, and the Guardian knows which direction. This just tells the Guardian which direction, and at that point, we'll put this
on the entrance.
On the entrance, yes. So this will go on the entrance, and the Guardian knows to go towards that entrance. And we no longer have to worry about ourselves. We just have to worry about where the Guardian is going.
Now we should probably make 4 unique ones that match kind of these, so we know which one
is going
towards. What if 3 of us have them coming after us?
I can change the colors.
Yeah.
So I'll make a color of the gates. I mean, so the north is green.
Well, actually, I'm tying this to that.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Because like if 3 of these are moving, and we've all got even those of this color, we don't know which one of these is going there.
Oh, you mean so change their pose?
Or either that, or just some way that tells me that this one is going towards that specific.
Well, that's what I mean. If this is a green set of skulls,
and then make these green.
Yes. Yep. So that would be green. That would be yellow.
Okay. Yep.
That would be blue,
yep.
And that would be red. So the easiest way is just change the colors.
Okay.
Okay. So we have 4 of these that will sit here, just in case we need them. Okay. There is nothing else that we need to put on the table, except we need to get some dice. And for this, we're going to be using 20-sided dice. 1 representing the library and 1 representing the player. So here we have a white and a gray dice. the gray dice will represent the library, the white dice will represent the player, and when we roll, we'll roll against each other and take the role of library and player as we go on. Okay. Let's roll to see who goes first. I have a 2.
16.
So you go first. And movement, I'm going to talk a little bit before we do anything.
Yeah.
Movement is one space at a time, unless we use any of our abilities from the help desk. So when you use an ability from the help desk, let's just say it out loud that I'm going to use an ability from the help desk and talk about, and we'll kind of deep dive into what those abilities are as we go. There's too much to actually talk about all of them.
Oh, that'd be an hour right there.
Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, so as you move
I'm
on.
also thinking about with these videos, like with the YouTube channel, creating channels.
And chapters.
Here's game setup.
Yes.
Here's like the basics.
Well, I saw on YouTube they have chapters now, right?
Well, you can make playlists.
Okay, so we can even
Whatever.
make playlists.
Yeah, so we'd have kind of like we're Christian, where he was like getting into more mechanics of different steps. That could be its own channel, just those things.
Right.
I just noticed that, like when I was looking up, they showed me a video while I was at the eye doctor, and then I went to their YouTube page to find it, and there were all these testimonials, all this stuff, and it's just all one big thing. And
we have to have we'll do chapter breaks for those and titles, definitely. All right, so as the second you move on to a card,